In Project 16, we're going to write an action script to create a series of spiral forms. And a spiral is created when a form is repeated, rotated, and grows or shrinks by a set amount. And it's just a very simple process. You could spiral a pentagon, a triangle. Here it is with some color and flipped. We could take a single line and apply the same action script to it, and here it is repeated and mirrored. This is all from one student's portfolio of the variations that I'm expecting for this project. And that was mirror imaged with color before. This is the basic one without color. So these can be very expressive and elegant. Take a square and spiralize it. That's where we'll begin. Let me go up to the... Could also do a rotational symmetry, 6-way, using photographs. And here we are spiralizing a hummingbird, rotating it slightly and making it smaller with each iteration. Same idea. This is offsetting the spiral instead of it being centered as a rotation point, and I'll show you that as well. Okay, so here this student did 6, 2, 3, about 20 pieces. Because once you get moving, I'm looking for you to keep doing variations. And here's a view of the project folders for the course. Okay, so let's get started. Coming into Photoshop, let's go File, New, and 10 by 10 or 12 by 12, make it square again, resolution 240, RGB color, create. Once again, let's start with a square. I'm going to click the plus button here and create a blank new layer to put it on. And I'm going to take the rectangle marquee, start in the upper left, hold down Shift, click and drag to the lower right, and sort of stop when the marching ants are equidistant, roughly speaking. You can click and drag this around too. So what we're going to do is stroke this line with black. So with black in the foreground, go Edit, Stroke, and maybe 25 pixels. Let's see how that looks. Centered, color black. Pretty good. We'll keep that. And then deselect. So the procedure is, what if we were to copy this layer, rotate it 15 degrees, and shrink it by 15%, and then keep that process going. And we could do that manually, but it's a little time consuming, or we could write an action script, which makes it a lot faster. So to do that, we'll go to Window, Actions, and these are various scripts that are built into Photoshop, but we can write our own. So by clicking the plus button next to the trash can, and I'm going to call this Spiral. And I'm going to give it a function key like F2, F3. And when I hit record, it's important not to do like random actions because it's recording every single thing we do. So I'm going to hit record. And notice the red button is on here. And to stop the recording, we hit the square. So here we go. I'm going to hit Control-J to copy this layer. Control T for free transform. And up here at the top, where this little angle looks like an eye from the side is, put 15 degrees in here. And height and width, let's see. This is locked together, height and width. So I'm going to put 85% in here. Well, I guess I have to do it over here too. 85. I can allow for that overlap. If I want to go a little more with this, that's okay. 83. Oops, 853. 83. 83. This is less important than just getting it to spiral. I'm going to leave the anchor point in the center. And to get that anchor point, you click on this little box under the word image. Okay? But I'm going to leave it centered for now. Hit the check mark, and then hit stop here on the action. So now when I hit F3, that's interesting. It's going the opposite direction from my first one, but that's okay. It's kind of interesting. So every time I hit F3, it creates a new one. And then File, save a copy as project 16.1. Or put it in your 16 folder and just name it number 1. Okay, so I'm going to come down and delete all of these. First I'll merge them, and then I'll hit the delete button and erase the deal here. Hit a new layer, the plus button, and let me show you some different shapes. So down on the left here, underneath this arrow, is the Shapes tool. And I want to go to the Polygon tool. And let's see. Right up here in the options, if I start out with a triangle, I need 3 sides to the polygon. And I'm going to give it about 20, 25 again, pixels stroked. So coming to the center, clicking and dragging and holding Alt and Shift to create a perfect triangle. And I want to move it using the Path Select tool, which is the black one. Come on, Path Select tool. There we go. I had a little delay there. I'm recording. I've got lots of stuff open. It ended up sideways. That's okay. It doesn't matter where we begin on this. And hit enter twice to set this. And so at this point, we're going to just play our script again. So I'm going to hit F3. And for some reason, my script started left, and that's okay. It's kind of interesting to me. And try that. I'm going to show you now offsetting it. If I go, I could save this, save a copy, and then I'll go Control-Z multiple times and undo this. Or I could toss these layers, either way. See this anchor point? I'm going to write a new script that will use the anchor point offset. So I'm going to click the plus button and call it Spiral 1 and record. Control-J. This time I'm going to move this offset a little bit. You could try going all the way out. I'm going to leave it in. a little bit. Control T and rotate it again 15 or so. Height and width. Could even say 80% and 80%. Again, experiment. Enter. Seems like my anchor point didn't move with it that time. Anyway, let me hit stop over here on the action. And I didn't assign an F button. This time I'm just going to click on the name of the action and hit the play button. And see what happens here. Yeah, I think that's doing pretty well. Okay, so save this one. What other variations? Let me dump all these layers here and hit delete. This time take the pen tool, which is right over the type tool, and starting up here, we're going to make a random curving shape using Bezier curves with the pen tool. And to do that, this is a new thing. You click once, let go of the mouse, come down a bit, click a second time, but bend the mouse, don't let go of it. Bend the mouse diagonally this way, and you can steer it any way you like and pull it any way you like. Let go of the mouse and then click one more time and it'll kind of do the opposite thing here. And now to stroke this single line, we need to set up a brush. So I'm going to come up here and click on the brush, clicking the options for the brush. I'm going to set it to 100% hard, and again something like 20, maybe 20 pixels, something like that is good. And then over here with layers, click on the Paths tab and click the second button in, which will stroke the line using the brush you just set up. Okay. Now toss out the work path, don't need it, and let's play our spiral again and see what happens. Actually, well, I'm going to do this. Okay, I don't like that. What's happening here, let me undo that, Control Z, Control Z. I bet you when I stroked it, I did it, well, okay. What's happening is I copied the entire canvas here. I stroked it on the background, and that's why it didn't do what I needed it to do. So if that happens, I'm going to take the magic wand, which is hiding the fourth tool down on the bottom, click on the black line to select it, copy it, Control C, paste it, Control V, and now I can play the, here we go. Depending on how you set up, this is spiral 1. I keep clicking play button here. You could save that, number 16 dot whatever, and I'm going to merge these together, right click, move tool. Oops. What I need to do is fill the background with white because I have that original line that was there. So edit, fill. With white on the background. Okay, now I have just this unit, and I can Control J it, Control T, and flip it horizontal. And if you like the way this looks, you can hold Shift to merge two of these together or link them, and then center it up and save it. If you want to separate them, click away and click on one of them and move it and explore the way these can interact. Okay. And if you'd like to do a mirror to that mirror, merge them, Control J and Control T, and flip vertical. And now you have some very powerful tools to go and look at many variations here. Okay, so put 6 to 10 or 20. Have fun with this and in your portfolio. Email me with any questions. Take care.